Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of my Dark Avengers comic book review. This week we are dealing with the comics that were released March 3rd, the first week of March 2010. And before we get into those comics, I would like to discuss a new series I have decided to start picking up. 2 issues on that. First one being Fantastic Four, issue 575. This is the variant cover with Invisible Woman as the variant. Awesome jump-on issue for those of you interested. Takes place right after Franklin's birthday. Basically, the Fantastic Four go into the Mole Men's underworld, and it was an awesome issue. I enjoy the story. I enjoy the series now, and it was great. This issue was great. It's a standalone story, and unlike a lot of the comic books, actually, like the story ends, but there's I guess an update page as the last page. So you have like Herbie telling you what happened afterwards. So I kind of enjoy having like that little backup, like this is what happened after the issue came out. Now this was 2 months ago, and then this month's issue was issue 576, which involves them going underwater to the city of Atlantis, and I really, once again, a reference from Pete's Basement. Everybody should be watching them if you're interested in comic books. They give the best references. Absolutely enjoying Fantastic Four. It's a great series. You guys should absolutely jump on board with this. I mean, they have standalone issues more than they have to be continued issues. Really good. Definite pickup for those of you interested in getting into a new series. Now, getting into the comic books from March 3rd. Avenger Comics number 8, starting with Last Stand on New Krypton for those of you getting ready to get rid of this shit once and for all involving the Legion of Superheroes. First, there's actually parts. First part is about Brainiac, Brainiac 5 in the Legion of Superheroes, and he discloses that Brainiac in present day is going to kill Superman, so the Legion has to go back in time and prevent that. Second story involves Superboy and Mon-El, which leads in from last week's Superman issue, introducing the Legion into the present day with Mon-El and everything, and they're off to New Krypton. Third story didn't interest me that much. It was about Sam Lane, and you can skip that one. Really good issue. Brings the Legion of Superheroes back. I have done my research. The Legion of Superheroes will be returning in their own comic book in another few months. We'll be catching issue 1 of that. Absolutely pick up Avenger Comics. It's one of the best Superman titles out there right now. Moving into a Marvel comic. Marvel, The Mighty Avengers, well, not Marvel, The Mighty Avengers number 34. Story with Thor and Loki. Great story. And, well, it takes place before Siege, even though it kind of has the feeling of Siege. Sorry, I had to think about it for a second. It takes place before Siege. Loki is captured by the Mighty Avengers, and Thor goes to his rescue. And, you know, it's a nice conflict. Mighty Avengers is a iffy comic book, at least in my opinion. I like Hank Pym, and I sort of like the team. It was a good story. I'd absolutely pick it up. The next issue does involve Siege, and Ultron's coming back. I would say you can pick this issue up. It's really nice for those of you Thor fans. I just got into Thor. Great seeing Thor back in an Avengers title, even though, actually we're going to get into brief news. It has been announced this week that there will be a 4th Avengers title. Mind you, there was only supposed to be 2. Then it went to 3. Now it's 4. You have the Avengers, you have the Secret Avengers, then you got the rebirth of the new Avengers. Now there's going to be something called Avengers Academy with superheroes that no one could give a fuck about. You will not be seeing Avengers Academy on this review. That is an Avengers title I refuse to buy, and I think it's Marvel trying to make a little bit more money off of the Avengers. Screw that. Okay, getting into a 5-part mini that's going to be coming out every single week for 5 weeks. Prelude to Deadpool Corps. Spotlight on Lady Deadpool. She's the first one. And as you can see, it's going to be an ongoing, the covers are going to conjoin with each other and make one big picture. I know you guys are saying, Chris, why? I'm being honest with you guys. I'm intrigued by the Deadpool Corps. You know, they made a little quote up to kind of like stick it to DC a little bit with the Green Lantern Corps. It was a good first issue. It involves Lady Deadpool versus Captain America, and Deadpool comes back. It's attached to Merc with a mouth, where he lost his arm, General America. I would say pick it up. It's a good prelude. For those of you Deadpool fans, you know you're going to be grabbing this because you're going to love this. The only Deadpool comic I can honestly say right now I do not like is Deadpool team-ups. And I've seen tons of reviewers actually comment badly on it because it really just sucks. So the only Deadpool comics I would say get at this moment are Deadpool, Deadpool Merc with a Mouth. That one has gotten negative feedback, Merc with a Mouth. So I guess out of these three, that one would be the weakest. And then now Deadpool Corps Prelude is coming out, and then next month the official first issue of Deadpool Corps will be coming out. Up to you guys. I thought it was a great read, great artwork. And now we're going to get into a comic book that pissed me off. First of all, alright, let's say what it is. Amazing Spider-Man 623. First of all, I'm officially saying on this video, I'm retracting what I said last week about Amazing Spider-Man 622. Proves that skimming a comic book is no good. I skimmed that comic because that was the only comic I missed last week, and after reading it, that comic was terrible. There were typos. The references made Spider-Man look like a complete moron. It was a stupid issue. I would absolutely say do not pick it up. The second part, the second story with Flash Thompson was okay. Was not really needed. It was a good second part. Amazing Spider-Man has just been crap. I'm being honest with you guys. I skimmed this. The crappy artwork from the Electro series is back in the Vulture series. And you do not have the original Vulture. You have the new Vulture. Crap. All that happens is you think J. Jonah Jameson is dead. Obviously he's not if Peter Parker is going to get fired in the next issue next week. It's been spoiled all over the place that next week Peter Parker is going to lose his job. So J. Jonah Jameson isn't dead. The artwork sucks, and this story officially sucks. I'm being honest with you, the way Spider-Man is just spiraling down, you're not going to be seeing Spider-Man soon on my comic book reviews anymore if it continues to suck. I'm waiting for a Gauntlet to end. If the next storyline, next story arc sucks, you can say goodbye to Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, and all other Spider-Man titles until they actually get some good shit back into Spider-Man. Now leading into a comic book which is actually good. The Invincible Iron Man number 24, concluding the Tony Stark disassemble. Disassemble? Tony Stark disassemble? Yes. Tony Stark comes back. Huge spoiler is about to happen right now. Tony Stark is back and stops Ghost from killing him, obviously. But here's the thing. His memory, this is a man that's supposed to be intelligent. He did not update the hard drive with his brain, so the past 5 years is not part of the memory. Basically, the reboot memory stick only went up to probably right before Civil War. So the last panel, actually, I'll show you guys the last panel in this issue. Tony Stark is brushing up, and you see him reading about Civil War, about Captain America being assassinated, about S.H.I.E.L.D. being disassembled, and Hammer going up, and everything about Norman Osborn. So now he's he's like, basically it's Tony Stark from before Civil War. So basically Marvel is trying to make him good again. This is the way to revamp Tony Stark. I believe they could have done a better job of it. I think it was a crap out at the end. I think that, like I said, they could have done it a whole lot better. They could have just had Tony Stark redeem himself, with having the memories of Civil War and everything else. Obviously, they didn't want to do that. They've been doing such a bad job since Civil War in the Marvel Universe that I guess they have no choice but to have crappy explanations to rebooting their own universe. So, whatever. Let them crappy reboot it, as long as after the reboot things get better. And with that, we're going to go into the next part where we actually have some good titles coming out. And I will see you guys in part 2, so stick around.